Food preservation and storage can be a lot of work. These four of my favorite storage crops don't require any special preservation techniques. They'll actually keep for months at room temperature in your home. No root cellar required. If you're short on time and want to store some of your produce for winter, these four veggies are some of the best choices. If you have a root cellar or an extra refrigerator, you could expand this list to include root crops, cabbages, apples, and more. But for those of us who don't, potatoes are my number one winter storage crop. Potatoes are one of the absolute best foods to grow and store in your home. They're not picky about soil, but they have far more caloric value than other common garden crops. And who doesn't love potatoes? We use them for oven and stovetop fries, mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, hash browns, you name it. If you're buying seed potatoes, the company will often organize them for you in the catalog. Early potatoes typically don't store very well, so you want to look for later maturing varieties. On the other hand, if you don't know the variety name or want to store potatoes you bought from someone else, you can get a good idea of how long they'll store by their color. There are certainly some exceptions here, but generally speaking, red potatoes need to be used first. If they were harvested in September, they'll be best used by early December. Yellow or gold potatoes are next. Harvested in September, they should be used by late December. Blue or purple varieties typically last till January when stored at room temperature. Russet-type potatoes last the longest. Harvested in September or October, ours last till about March. Once again, this is a generalization if you're storing store-bought potatoes. If you've grown named varieties, you should have a much better idea of how long they'll store. If you weren't able to grow your own storage potatoes, be sure to check with small local farmers. I've found they're often happy to give me a good deal on a box or two of potatoes. I also sometimes buy organic potatoes in bulk from Azure Standard. Azure is a food co-op that delivers to cities all across the U.S. They have great prices and offer both conventional and organic foods. I'll throw a link to Azure Standard in the description box below. For the best storage crop, time your potato planting so they'll mature at the end of the season. When the vines are killed by a frost, leave the potatoes in the ground for another 2 weeks to let their skins toughen up for storage. Dig your potatoes on a dry day if you can. They should not be washed. Simply brush the dirt off as you go. If the potatoes are damp coming out of the ground, you can spread them out to dry for a few hours. Don't leave them in the light for more than a day. Box up your potatoes so they don't get any light. Keep them in the coolest room of your home and immediately remove any that start to go bad. This is how we store potatoes every winter. Number 2 on my list is garlic. Garlic is another fantastic storage crop that doesn't need any special storage conditions. Ours often lasts more than a year at room temperature. I use a lot of garlic in my cooking. It adds so much flavor and can really liven up more boring foods such as dried beans. To grow garlic for storage, you want to look for a variety claiming good storage qualities. I often hear that soft-neck garlic stores better. However, for me, hard-neck lasts much longer and grows better. Grow it out as you usually would. In our climate, that means planting in October for a late July harvest. At harvest time, wait until 1/3 to 1/2 of the plant's leaves have turned brown. Garlic harvested at the perfect time will store the best. Leave the leaves on and tie the plants in bundles. Hang them somewhere dry, and ideally without too much light to finish drying out. A garage or barn is perfect. Leave them for at least 2 weeks. Longer is fine. When the plants are completely dry, you can finish prepping them for storage. Cut off the stems about 3/4 of an inch from the top of the garlic bulb. Trim the roots with scissors to 1/4 inch or a little less. If the outermost paper on the bulb is dirty, you can take it off. I do this with most of my garlic to get a nice clean bulb. Removing the single outermost layer will not affect how the garlic stores, but be sure to leave the remaining layers of paper on. Sort out any garlic that has damage or is split. These won't store well, and they should be used first. We store garlic in mesh bags at room temperature in our home. For us, it typically lasts 10 to 13 months in prime condition. If you didn't grow enough garlic to store, garlic is another crop you might be able to purchase in bulk from a local farm. You can also buy organic garlic in bulk from Azure Standard. Unlike the supermarket, Azure usually lists whether their garlic is hardneck or softneck. Number 3 is winter squash. Winter squash is probably my favorite winter storage crop, and this category also includes pumpkins. Depending on the variety, winter squash can last anywhere from 3 months to well over a year at room temperature in your home. That's pretty crazy. Seed catalogs will usually list whether a variety has good storage qualities. Acorn squash is typically the shortest lived, only lasting a few months at room temperature. Small pie pumpkins and butternut squash also don't store very long and are usually the best used by Christmas. Some of the best storage varieties include Girardale pumpkin, Cinderella pumpkin, Blue Hubbard squash, Iran squash, Lady Godiva naked-seeded pumpkin, Red Curry, Long Island cheese pumpkin, let's see if I can pronounce this, Thai Rye Katak, and Bungusto de Horno. Have you found another great storage squash that isn't on this list? Please share in the comments section. Most winter squash can be cut in half and the seeds scooped out. Place upside down on a cookie sheet with sides and bake until it's tender. Serve hot with butter and a dash of real maple syrup, brown sugar, or coconut sugar. We've also found a healthy recipe for pumpkin pie from scratch. I'll share a link to that in the description box. You don't need to do anything special to grow storage squash. They should be picked before a hard freeze. A light frost that nips the vines won't hurt the squash, but temperatures much under 32 degrees will. Be sure to leave part of the stem in place. Most squash benefit from a curing time of 2 weeks in a warm place, such as a greenhouse, near a wood stove, or just in the warmest part of your house. Curing isn't needed for acorn squash or small pie pumpkins. After curing, move the squash to the coolest room of your home for long-term storage. A spare bedroom or under a bed is perfect. A garage will also work if the temperature doesn't fall below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Be sure to separate out any squash that are damaged or missing stems to use first. They won't store well. Through the winter, check your squash stores every week or two. If a squash begins to get wrinkled spots, it needs to be used immediately. It's still fine to use, but this is a sign that it will soon begin to spoil. With regular checking, you can avoid any waste. If you didn't grow any winter squash this year, this is another crop that's often easy to find from local farmers. This year, some of my varieties did very well, but I was short on pie pumpkins. I found a small local farmer who was happy to sell me a box of pie pumpkins. My kids have been enjoying lots of pumpkin pie this fall and winter. Storage crop number 4 is onions. Last but not least, in my room temperature storage crop roundup is the onion. Onions can last anywhere from a few months to 6 or more at room temperature. When growing onions for storage, look for a storage variety. Sweet onions, such as Walla Walla, are meant to be eaten fresh and do not store very well. Generally, yellow onions store significantly longer than red onions. At harvest time, stop watering when the tops of your onions begin to fall over. Knock over any tops that are still standing and leave them in the ground for another 2 weeks. Dig your crop and spread them out to dry where they won't get rained on. A barn or a garage is perfect. Don't remove the tops until they're completely dry. Once the tops have dried out, cut them off about 3/4 of an inch above the top of the onion. Trim the roots so they're neat and tidy. Keep your onions in the coolest part of your house. They should be checked regularly, and any bad ones should be removed. If your onions begin to sprout, you can plant them in a pot on a windowsill and harvest the greens as green onions. If you didn't grow your own, you can store onions from the supermarket or buy them in bulk for measure. Although these are my top 4, there are more storage crops that will keep at room temperature. Sweet potatoes could be number 5 on this list. I didn't include them in my list of storage crops because they're hard to grow here in Montana, and I don't have much experience with storing them. If you live farther south, they'd be another excellent choice to store in your house, and may do even better than regular potatoes. Dried beans and grains are good choices for room temperature storage crops. We have an article on our website about how to grow flour corn. I'll put a link to that in the description box. Have you found a vegetable or fruit that's not on this list that will store at room temperature? Be sure to share it in the comment section. And finally, if you'd like to learn more about growing storage crops like these, I'd highly recommend Carol Depp's book, The Resilient Gardener: Food Production and Self-Reliance in Uncertain Times. Potatoes and winter squash are 2 of the 5 storage crops she raises on her homestead for self-sufficiency. The others are dried beans, flour corn, and duck eggs.